Oh, the new one?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I'll check it out. It should be on.
It's on, but it's like
Wait, hold on.
yeah, the it looks different. So it's like stereo.
Much lighter than this one.
I think so. The hot pods are.
There you go.
Yeah, they come in handy though.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is still a good design for a tripod.
Right.
Yeah.
These
It's
are
Germans. They sure come up with good
But
ideas.
this one, like the spread is like so wide though.
Does it really go wide?
Well, no, just like the regular spread.
I didn't see any of ours.
A lot wider than the usual.
Oh, it won't go narrow.
I didn't go like across the street,
Yeah, that is.
so I didn't see like everyone in
I'll
detail.
pull it up like that.
Victoria, do you see the meter movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
So everything's good? Audio? Cool. Okay.
When we came here, the sky was blue. It's all clouded up. It's gonna rain. Really? Yeah. I hope so. We need the rain.
Is that where it happened?
They were leaving a party from
Well, I just looked at TMZ's video. They released video from the traffic stop on Megan's SUV. You know, the LAPD did a felony traffic stop. They're having people exit the vehicle. And she's trying to back up. And, you know, she got shot in the foot. So she's like, you see her backing up and like limping. And I guess the cops didn't know she was a victim. Because I guess after she got shot, they just bailed, went to the SUV and turned it off. So, you know, cops are just going to go after everybody and figure out what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess somebody was shooting on a cell phone from like a balcony with what it looked like. Pretty good video.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, anytime you join the grassroots, there's going to be guns. No question about it. It's not them, it's their entourage.
Oh yeah.
playing Frogger across the
Hello,
street.
sir.
Nothing happened with him.
Someone shared a video of him playing a song. He covered it up. And someone posted it.
Didn't Tory's family
According to
they had an outburst
Rolling
before
Stone,
they
this
left?
never happened. And it started
That's what I read.
harassing him for like a day.
Something about the system, whatever.
And then at one
I
point,
think
God.
was that the conviction, like when he was
Yeah,
convicted.
when they announced the conviction.
instead of Sheila E. backing band was the backing band that played on the Prince Turkey Grand Tour that year. And he said, and then he started retweeting and someone said, "Oh, you got it wrong." Like he was just trying to find the smallest little thing. But then 2 weeks later, he was still like trying to get like lift me up and find things to show me.
When I came through, like security,
It was so weird and it was so funny.
no, that was a different one. This one's for Tory Lanez, and he's like, oh, I don't know anything about that.
I'd never heard of
Like,
had nothing better to do with the day than to like repeatedly try and post my opinion.
yeah, that'd be weird. No, CNN was the last one. 1 minute ago.
I haven't seen anything from Lennox.
From who?
Oh, you got seen that? Here it comes.
We're going to get started. This press conference is about the sentencing of Mr. Peterson. The district attorney will make some remarks in English and Spanish. We're joined by Tanisha Wright, our director of victim services. The prosecutors assigned to handle this case, Deputy District Attorney Kathy Taw, Deputy District Attorney Alex Bott, the head deputy of the Family Violence Division, Stephanie Meyer, and the director of Specialized Prosecutions, Larry Drager. We'll start with the district attorney, followed by Ms. Wright. Deputy District Attorney Alex Bott will then give a few remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, Joseph. Seems like some of you were here just a few minutes ago. Huh? We spent all day here today. Well, good afternoon again. Today we're here to talk about Daystar Peterson, also known as Tory Lanez, who was sentenced to 10 years in prison for the July 12th, 2020 attack on Megan Pete, also known as Megan Thee Stallion. Over the past 3 years, Mr. Peterson has engaged in a pattern of conduct that was intended to intimidate Ms. Pete, silence her, and keep her from defending and bringing her truth out. Despite the physical violence, verbal attacks, and attempts at public humiliation, Ms. Pete remained strong and shared the events of that fateful night with the jury and the world. The fact that Ms. Pete is a successful entertainer has brought a spotlight on the important issue of violence against women. There are many people in our community that endure acts of violence every day from people close to them and feel reluctant to come forward when this happens. I hope that Ms. Pete's bravery gives hope to those that feel helpless. In fact, today, as sentencing, through her statement, and yesterday, Ms. Pete thought of others who have been similarly situated, and I'm going to read a portion of the statement that she made to the court, because I think it drives home what she has endured and what she's trying to do. And I say, on quotes, "Every day, I think of others across the world who are victims of violence and survive. It is truly the most powerless feeling, especially when you question whether the justice system can truly protect you. Fortunately, the district attorney's office fought for me. I'm incredibly grateful to them and the jury for the attention to the evidence and siding with the truth. But it can happen. If it can happen to me, imagine those who lack the resources and support systems to help them." Unquote. I want to assure all the victims of crime and members of our community and support them in their journey to healing. I'd like to thank the jury for their time and for critically and objectively viewing the evidence in this case. Jurors played I also like to thank the Los Angeles Police Department for a thorough investigation and process. Attorneys Kathy Ta and Alex Bott, who are here to my right, your left, they made tremendous sacrifices and endure attacks that they shouldn't have to. They were attacked in social media. Their integrity was questioned with lies, much the same way that in this case the defendant attacked the victim and tried to victim blame. Despite all of this, they remain professional, worked tirelessly to litigate this case under intense scrutiny. I also want to thank the rest of our team, our investigators, victim services, so many others. They had to work so hard in order to bring this case together. But as I was telling our attorneys earlier today, at the end of the day, the team is only as good as the people that are on the front, and it was you guys who were at the tip of the spear, and we appreciate what you did. I'm going to say a few words in Spanish very quickly. We'll have others speak, and then we'll answer any questions that you may have. Buenas tardes. Hoy estamos aquí para hablar del caso del señor Daystar Peterson, también conocido como Tory Lanez, que fue condenado a 10 años de prisión por el ataque del 12 de julio del 2020 contra la señora Megan Thee, también conocida como Megan Thee Stallion. Durante los últimos 3 años, el señor Peterson ha mostrado un patrón de conducta destinado a intimidar a la señora Pitt y silenciar sus verdades. A pesar de la violencia física, los ataques verbales y los intentos de humillar pública a la señora Pitt, permaneció fuerte y compartió los eventos de esa fatídica noche con el jurado y el mundo. El hecho que la señora Pitt es una exitosa artista ha puesto de relieve lo importante para las mujeres, ya que hay muchas personas en nuestra comunidad que sufren actos de violencia todos los días por parte de personas cercanas y se sienten con miedo de denunciar cuando esto sucede. Espero que la valentía de la señora Pitt dé esperanza a aquellos que se sienten indefensos. De hecho, ayer y hoy, durante la sentencia, a través de su declaración, la señora Pitt pensó en otros que han sido víctimas en manera similar. Y quiero leer parte de las palabras que ella le dijo al tribunal. Todos los días pienso en otras personas en todo el mundo que son víctimas de violencia y sobreviven. Es realmente una sensación de impotencia, especialmente cuando cuestionas si el sistema de justicia puede protegerte realmente. Afortunadamente, la oficina del fiscal del Distrito de Los Ángeles luchó por mí. Estoy increíblemente agradecida con ellos y con el jurado por su atención a las pruebas para estar del lado de la verdad. Pero si me puede esto pasar a mí, imagina a aquellos que carecen de los recursos en un sistema de apoyo para ayudarles. Esas son las palabras de Megan. Yo quiero asegurarle a nuestra comunidad de que nosotros estamos aquí para ustedes y que para las víctimas las vamos a proteger en su camino, no solamente de contabilidad al sospechoso, pero su recuperación. Me gustaría agradecerle al jurado por su tiempo en examinar la evidencia y llegar a esta conclusión. Los jurados son muy importantes en nuestro sistema legal y su servicio se le agradece. También quiero dar las gracias al Departamento de Policía de Los Ángeles por todo el trabajo que hicieron en esta investigación y finalmente a nuestros fiscales de distrito Kathy Tapp y Alex Bott que trabajaron incansablemente en este caso. También le quiero dar las gracias al resto de nuestro equipo de investigadores, asistentes a víctimas y otros miembros de nuestra oficina que trabajaron muchas horas para ayudar en este caso. Now I'm going to turn it over to Tanisha. Tanisha Wright is the Director of Victim Services for our office.
Thank you. I am Tanisha Wright. I am the Director of the Bureau of Victim Services. I first and foremost want to express my sincere condolences to the victim for the pain and the trauma that she has had to experience over the past few years. At the Bureau of Victim Services, we are dedicated to helping victims reclaim their voice, advocate for themselves, and find their path to healing and wholeness. Violence against Black women and girls is a long-standing national epidemic that has long been overlooked and underreported. Women of color, more times than not, do not come forward to report victimization due to the fear that they will not be believed. Women of color are also more likely to be victim blamed and shamed for their experiences, especially in high-profile trials involving violence against women, which further traumatizes the victim and prevents their voice from being heard. No victim should ever have to feel belittled or attacked or dragged through social media because they were brave enough to step forward and report their abuse. They deserve a right to be vulnerable and to speak their truth. Women of color deserve the right to seek, to be taken seriously, to be protected, and also be free from violence and harm and the countless barriers that prevents women from reporting incidents of violence in the first place. Women of color also deserve specific and concrete solutions that will contribute to the decrease in incidents of gender-based violence. For anyone who has survived violence, please know that your feelings are valid and you matter. I want to personally let all victims out there know that you have a right to report any type of crime. You have a right to seek the support from our office, and even if you do not wish to go through the legal process, you are still entitled to receiving victim services in a safe and non-judgmental and trauma-informed environment. Our office will continue supporting victims. We are always ready and here to support any victims that need support and resources. Our number is 1-800-380-3811. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Alex Bott. I'm one of the deputy district attorneys who prosecuted this case, along with my colleague, Kathy Taw. Today, the judge sentenced the defendant, Tory Lanez, to 10 years in state prison. And my first thought was, I was thrilled for Megan. This has been a long and hard road for her. Not only did the defendant do the heinous act of shooting her, he then subjected her to 2.5 years of hell. He intimidated her. He harassed her. Nevertheless, in the face of all of that abuse and vitriol, Megan showed the courage to come forward and speak her truth. And today's sentence is justice for Megan. It also sends a message to the defendant that actions have consequences. Now, I prosecute cases of domestic violence, and all too often we have victims that are too afraid, too ashamed, or too embarrassed to come forward and speak their truth about the abuse they suffered. I hope that future victims can look to Megan and her courage and also find the courage to come forward and get the justice that they deserve.
You want to say a few words, Kathy?
I've had this case for 3 years, and I can tell you I've seen the transformative impact it's had on Megan, and I've seen the trauma she's undergone in the last 3 years. And I am incredibly relieved on her behalf. I thank the jurors because it was really difficult to sit through a case like this under the scrutiny that they faced. I thank all the parties that assisted in this case. This was actually a team effort. We had the Bureau investigation help us, members of the Family Violence Unit, victim advocates. This is not something we could have done on our own. But ultimately, I thank Megan. I know we've talked a lot about her bravery and courage. The power that it must have taken someone with that level of willingness to come forward after being vilified online did to court and face your accuser, and to sit there and relive and re-experience your trauma all over again. That is not easy. So I thank you very much for her being there, for her sticking this out. I hope that this brings her some level of closure, and that from here on out, this is another chapter she can move away from, and she can start rebuilding. Thank you.
Thank you, Catherine. Are there any questions from anyone? Okay. Thank you very much. Appreciate your patience.